One of my favourite movies is RoboCop. It's just an awesome movie. It's just iconic. It's got its own feel. The action's great. All the explosions, gore, shots. It really felt realistic the way people were just blown apart in that over violence, over exaggerated way. The way guns just kicked back. It was awesome. But it was also really smart for its time. It had great satire on the social, economic, political view of 1985, and it was written in 1981. And I still think it holds up today, that the story is still relevant. It's all about corporations taking over taking over a lot of the functions of the world and becoming powerful, having more control over the politics of the world. It also talks about identity theft, which is a big issue in this information age, and the economic crash that we are still recovering from, and how places of lower economic, social development have more crime. But the remake, for me, after watching it, just felt really dumbed down. The original was truly about RoboCop's identity crisis, how after dying and being brought back to life, he has to fight to regain his identity, to figure out who he is, for him to get back his humanity. As when he wakes up, he learns he's just a robot. But under his faceplate, he has a human face and even a human heart. And he has to battle to not regain his old life with his old wife and son, but to make a new one, to get his humanity back, to become a person. And this is why I believe the remake is just unnecessary and even dumbed down. I really feel like it's just a cash grab, a blockbuster, just to make money. Stealing the name and ideas of this great movie just to make some easy money. It uses its recognizable name and some of its image to try and lure people into the movie theaters because they saw that movie, it was great, so why not watch this one? It has a more up-to-date controversial argument faced in the Mall of the Dilemma for the movie. It talks about drones and how ethically they're used. In the opening shot of the movie, we see drones pulling people of some Middle Eastern town out of their houses and scanning them. And then Americans talking about how much they're helping people, how much these people are now safe under their rule, under their weapons, and how people aren't being killed. After that, showing a bunch of fighters trying to fight the robots and all dying, with a child running up to a robot with a knife and the robot killing him because it's not a person to a robot. A robot is not a person. It doesn't have any morality, so it can't dictate what's right or wrong. But that's just about it. There's nothing else. The RoboCop doesn't even lose his identity. He's just drugged with his dopamine levels higher, so he just cares less about his family. It doesn't have the rich, witty satire that the original had. Plus, the overuse of CG is just grating. It doesn't look real to me. I don't feel like what I'm looking at is real. I just don't get that from newer movies. Which is strange because Jurassic Park is another of my favourite movies, and that CG, to me, looks good. Probably because it mixed CG with practical effects. I love practical effects because they just look real to me. They feel real. The robot suit in the original movie was big, clunky. It really did look like he was a robot. Probably because the actor in the suit felt like a robot from all of the unflexible joints. In fact, the actor for the original RoboCop, Peter Weller, said it was sinful to remake the movie because not only is it a snapshot of its own time, of the 80s, but also has a relevant issue that still goes. It is still relevant to this day with its issues, And he said it would be incredibly hard to compete with a movie like RoboCop. And I totally agree.